Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Daily English Fluent Podcast. I am Jake, and today I am very happy to practice English with you. In today's podcast, we are going to talk about something that many English learners want. We are going to learn how to talk with confidence. Many people believe that confidence comes first, and speaking comes later. But that is not true. Confidence grows when you practice. Confidence grows when you speak, even if you make small mistakes. Every fluent English speaker was once a beginner. Every confident speaker once felt nervous. So, if you feel shy when you speak English, please do not worry. You are not alone. Thousands of English learners feel exactly the same way. Maybe you understand English when you read. Maybe you understand English when you watch videos. But when someone asks you a simple question, your mind suddenly becomes empty. You know the words, but they do not come out. You begin thinking too much. You ask yourself, what if I make a mistake? What if my pronunciation is wrong? What if people laugh at me? While you are thinking, the conversation continues without you. This happens to many learners every day. The good news is that confidence is not something you are born with. Confidence is a skill. Just like riding a bicycle or learning to cook, you can improve it step by step. Today, we will learn simple ideas that will help you speak with more confidence in English. We will use easy words, short sentences, and real-life examples. By the end of this lesson, you will understand that speaking confidently is not about perfect grammar. It is about sharing your ideas clearly and calmly. First, let us understand what confidence really means. Many people think a confident speaker never feels nervous. That is not true. Even teachers, business people, actors, and public speakers sometimes feel nervous before they speak. The difference is that they do not let fear stop them. They continue speaking even when they feel a little uncomfortable. Confidence means taking action even when you do not feel perfect. Imagine you meet someone for the first time. They smile and ask, "How are you?" You know the answer. You have studied it many times, but suddenly you become nervous. Instead of saying, "I'm doing well, thank you. How about you?" you only say, "Fine." Then the conversation stops. Later you think, "I knew what to say. Why didn't I say it?" The answer is simple. Fear became louder than your practice. Now imagine a different situation. Someone asks, "How are you?" You smile, take a small breath, and answer slowly. "I'm doing well, thank you. I had a busy day, but I'm happy to be here. How about you? Was your English perfect?" Maybe not, but you communicated. You shared your thoughts. That is confidence. One important secret is this. People usually care much more about your message than your mistakes. If you visit another country and someone speaks your language with a small accent, do you laugh at them? Probably not. You are usually happy because they are trying. English speakers often feel the same way. They appreciate your effort. They want to understand you. They are not waiting for you to make a mistake. Another mistake many learners make is comparing themselves with fluent speakers. They listen to native speakers on television or online and think, "I will never sound like that." This thought makes learning harder. Instead, compare yourself with your past self. Ask yourself, am I better than last month? Am I speaking more than before? Do I understand more than I did last year? If the answer is yes, then you are making progress, and progress builds confidence. Let us think about a child learning to speak. A small child makes many mistakes. They say words incorrectly. They forget grammar. Sometimes adults cannot understand them, but the child keeps talking every day. Nobody tells the child to stop speaking until every sentence is perfect. That is why children become fluent. They practice without being afraid of mistakes. English learners can learn the same lesson. Now let us begin building confidence with one simple habit. Speak a little every day. Even 5 minutes is enough. Read a short paragraph aloud. Introduce yourself in front of a mirror. Describe your room. Talk about your breakfast. Tell yourself what you are doing. Small daily practice is much more powerful than studying for 3 hours once a week and then staying silent for many days. When you practice every day, your brain becomes more comfortable with English. Words come faster. Sentences become easier. Your voice becomes calmer. Little by little, speaking English starts to feel natural instead of frightening. That is how real confidence begins. Now, let us talk about another important part of confidence: your voice. Many English learners speak so quietly that other people cannot hear them clearly. This happens because they are afraid of making mistakes. But when you speak too softly, people may ask you to repeat yourself again and again. Then you become even more nervous. Try speaking a little louder than usual. You do not need to shout. Just let your voice be clear and relaxed. A clear voice makes you sound more confident, even if your English is still improving. Your speed is also important. Some learners think that speaking fast means speaking well. This is not true. Fast speaking often creates more mistakes. Your words become difficult to understand. You may forget what you wanted to say. Slow speaking gives your brain more time to choose the right words. It also gives the listener more time to understand you. Remember, clear communication is always better than fast communication. Let us compare two examples. The first person says, "Hello, I'm from Brazil, and I'm learning English because want to travel and meet new people." Everything comes out very quickly. The listener has to work hard to understand. Now listen to the second person. "Hello, I am from Brazil. I am learning English because I want to travel and meet new people." This speaker pauses between ideas. The message is easy to understand. Which speaker sounds more confident? Usually the second one. Pauses are not your enemy. A short pause shows that you are thinking. Even native English speakers pause while they talk. They stop for a second to choose a word or organize an idea. So if you need a moment, simply smile, take a small breath, and continue speaking. There is nothing wrong with that. Another helpful habit is using simple sentences. Many learners try to impress people with long and difficult grammar. Then they become confused in the middle of the sentence. Instead, choose words you know well. For example, instead of saying, "I would like to express my sincere appreciation for this wonderful opportunity," you can simply say, "Thank you for this opportunity." The second sentence is shorter, easier, and more natural for everyday conversation. Simple English is powerful. Clear English is powerful. Natural English is powerful. The goal is communication, not perfection. Now let us practice with a few everyday situations. Imagine you are buying coffee. The worker asks, "What would you like?" You smile and answer slowly. "I'd like a small coffee, please." The worker asks, "Anything else?" You answer, "No, thank you." This conversation is short, but every time you complete a conversation like this, your confidence becomes stronger. Now imagine you are asking someone for directions. "Excuse me, where is the train station?" "It is 2 blocks away." "Thank you very much." "You are welcome." Again, these are simple sentences. They are enough to communicate successfully. Many learners wait until they know thousands of English words before they start speaking. This is a mistake. You do not need a huge vocabulary to have a conversation. A few hundred useful words can help you talk about daily life, your family, your hobbies, your work, and your plans. As you continue practicing, your vocabulary will grow naturally. Let us also talk about body language. Confidence is not only about words. Stand comfortably. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Look at the person when they are speaking. Smile naturally. A friendly smile helps both you and the other person feel more comfortable. Good body language often makes people think you are confident before you even begin talking. Eye contact is another useful habit. You do not need to stare at someone all the time. Simply look at them while you speak and while you listen. Looking away every second can make you appear unsure, even if your English is very good. Listening carefully is also part of confident communication. Many learners worry so much about what they will say next that they stop listening. Instead, focus on the other person's words. Good listening helps you give better answers. It also makes conversations feel more natural. Here is another secret. You do not have to know every word. Imagine someone uses one word you do not understand. Do not panic. Listen to the rest of the sentence. Often you can understand the meaning from the context. If you still do not understand, ask politely. You can say, "Sorry, could you repeat that, please?" Or, "What does that word mean?" Or, "Could you say that a little more slowly?" These are confident sentences because they help the conversation continue. Asking questions does not show weakness, it shows that you want to understand. Now let us think about mistakes again. Imagine you say, "Yesterday I go to the park." Then you immediately realize the mistake. Simply correct yourself. "Sorry, yesterday I went to the park." Then continue talking. There is no need to apologize many times or stop the conversation. Small corrections are normal. Every speaker makes them from time to time. The more you accept small mistakes, the less power they have over you. Slowly, you will notice something wonderful. Instead of thinking about grammar every second, you will begin thinking about your ideas. That is when speaking starts to feel easier and much more enjoyable. Now let us bring everything together. By now, you have learned something very important. Confidence is not magic. It is not a special gift that only a few people have. Confidence is something you build, little by little. Every sentence you speak makes you a little stronger. Every conversation teaches you something new. Every mistake becomes a lesson. If you keep practicing, you will become more comfortable with English every day. Let us imagine two English learners. The first learner studies grammar for 2 hours every day but never speaks. The second learner studies for only 30 minutes, but also spends 10 minutes speaking English every day. After a few months, who will probably feel more confident? Usually the second learner. Why? Because confidence comes from using the language, not only from studying it. Speaking English is like learning to swim. You can read many books about swimming. You can watch hundreds of videos. You can learn every rule. But sooner or later, you must get into the water. At first, it may feel uncomfortable. After some practice, you become calmer. Then you enjoy it. Speaking English works the same way. Now, let us practice some positive thoughts. Sometimes your biggest problem is not your English. Sometimes it is the voice inside your head. Maybe you think, "My English is terrible," or "Everyone speaks better than I do." These thoughts make you feel nervous before you even begin. Instead, replace those thoughts with better ones. Say, "I am learning every day." Say, "Every conversation helps me improve." Say, "It is okay to make mistakes." Say, "I can communicate and I will become better with practice." These simple sentences change the way you think about yourself. A positive mindset helps you stay relaxed, and relaxed people usually speak more confidently. Another wonderful habit is celebrating small victories. Did you order food in English today? Great. Did you introduce yourself to someone new? Excellent. Did you ask one question during class? Wonderful. These may seem like small achievements, but together they create real progress. Every successful conversation gives your brain more confidence for the next one. You can also create simple daily speaking challenges. On Monday, introduce yourself aloud. On Tuesday, describe your room for 1 minute. On Wednesday, talk about your favorite food. On Thursday, describe your daily routine. On Friday, tell a short story about your weekend. On Saturday, watch a short English video and repeat 5 useful sentences. On Sunday, record your voice and listen carefully. Notice one thing you did well and one thing you can improve. This simple weekly routine does not take much time, but it can make a big difference after a few months. Remember, confidence grows through repetition. The first time you say something, it may feel difficult. The 5th time feels easier. The 10th time feels natural. That is why practice is so powerful. Let us look at one final example. Imagine you arrive at an English club for the first time. You feel nervous because you do not know anyone. Instead of standing quietly in the corner, you smile and walk toward another student. Hi, my name is Maria. Nice to meet you. I'm Daniel. Where are you from? I'm from Mexico. How about you? I'm from Brazil. That's great. Why are you learning English? I want to travel and meet new people. Me too. This conversation is not long. The grammar is simple, the vocabulary is easy, but something very important happened. You started a conversation, that is, confidence in action. Always remember that communication is more important than perfection. People will remember your kindness, your smile, and your ideas much more than a small grammar mistake. The goal of English is to connect with people, share experiences, and understand the world a little better. Before we finish, let us review today's main ideas. Speak every day, even if it is only for a few minutes. Use simple words that you know well. Speak slowly and clearly. Do not fear small mistakes. Listen carefully. Ask questions when you do not understand. Celebrate every small success. Practice again tomorrow. Little by little, your confidence will grow. One day, you will notice something surprising. You will answer questions without thinking too much. You will enjoy conversations instead of fearing them. You will smile because English no longer feels impossible. It simply becomes another way to share your thoughts with the world. Thank you very much for spending your time with me today. I am Jake, and I am very happy that we practiced English together. Keep listening, keep speaking, and keep believing in yourself. Remember, you do not need perfect English to speak with confidence. You only need the courage to begin and the patience to continue. Every day is another chance to improve, and every word you speak brings you one step closer to your goal. Take care, keep practicing, and I will see you in the next episode of Daily English Fluent Podcast. Goodbye, and have a wonderful day.